Hey there, I'm Casey. Why would a UFC champion get sentenced to life in prison? Today we're talking about fighters who went from the ring to the cell. Jonathan Koppenhaver, better known as War Machine. This guy went from the ultimate fighter to ultimate criminal. In 2014, he found his ex-girlfriend Christy Mack with another man and completely lost it. What happened next was absolutely brutal. Christy ended up with 18 broken bones, broken ribs, liver damage, and missing teeth. She nearly died. War Machine fled but was caught after a nationwide manhunt. In 2017, he was sentenced to life in prison for kidnapping, sexual assault, and attempted murder. UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez was known throughout his career not just for his toughness, but for earning respect. But in 2022, his name became associated with a completely different kind of story. When a man accused of molesting Cain's 4-year-old son was released from custody, Cain snapped. He followed the suspect, caught up with him in traffic, and opened fire on his vehicle. But instead of hitting his target, he wounded someone else in the car, the alleged abuser's stepfather. Cain was arrested and charged with multiple serious crimes, including attempted murder. In 2024, he appeared in court and was sentenced to 5 years. But with time served and probation conditions, his actual prison time was reduced. Cain is currently serving his sentence and preparing to be free again. The MMA world was split over this incident. Some saw him as just a father trying to protect his child. Others argued that no justification can excuse taking the law into your own hands. Jason Miller was one of UFC's craziest fighters. After his career ended, he lost it completely. He got arrested for running into a church naked. Then he kept getting arrested over and over. In 2015, he yelled at a judge in court and got arrested again. In 2021, he was accused of breaking a woman's ribs. Mayhem. Miller's story shows that surviving inside the cage is one thing, but surviving outside the cage is a completely different battle, and neglecting mental health can lead to devastating consequences. Jon Jones is considered the most talented fighter who ever lived, but he's also one of UFC's most controversial and troubled figures. Jones has been arrested multiple times since 2012. Drunk driving, drug possession, illegal weapons, domestic violence, the list is almost endless, but maybe his worst incident happened in 2015. Jon Jones crashed into a pregnant woman's car at an intersection in New Mexico and fled the scene. But shortly after, he returned to the crash site, only to grab the money and drugs from his bag. Then he fled again. The woman's arm was broken. Jones was temporarily stripped of his title by the UFC and suspended from the sport because of this incident. But eventually, he came back, because every time Jones screws up, he always gets another chance. Because his talent is undeniable, he's the UFC's Ronaldinho. Jorge Masvidal went from street fights to UFC stardom, but his problems outside the cage kept following him. His rivalry with Colby Covington spilled over into real life when Masvidal attacked Covington outside a restaurant. Covington ended up with a broken tooth and alleged brain trauma. Masvidal was arrested, admitted guilt in his defense, but avoided prison time. Sergio Dumas was arrested 13 times before even making it to the UFC. In April 2024, he was arrested again for allegedly breaking into his ex-girlfriend's house and assaulting her. Police found him hiding in a doghouse at his new girlfriend's place. Dumas faced charges for home invasion, assault, drug possession, and illegal weapon possession. Conor McGregor was a superstar fighter, but we didn't only hear his name from fights. In 2018, things went wrong in New York. During a media day, he grabbed metal barriers and threw them at Khabib's team bus. The windows broke. People inside got hurt. He went to court. He got 5 days of community service and had to take anger management classes. In 2021, he was in Dublin. At a bar, he punched a man who refused his whiskey brand. Security cameras recorded everything. The videos exploded on social media. McGregor was at the top of his sport, but at the same time, he was destroying his own image.